So we count a Polonaise in either 3s or in 6s. So we'd count either a 1 and a 2 and 3, 1 and a 2 and 3, or we count 1 and a 2 and 3, 2 and a 2 and 3, 3 and a 2 and 3, 4 and a 2 and 3, or we count a 1 and a 2 and 3, 4 and a 5 and 6, 1 and a 2 and 3, 4 and a 5 and 6. So the Polonaise is in 3/4, and it's like a Mazurka. It's one of those ones where it's got separate counts. So, but with a Mazurka we could count a 1 and 2 and that's fine. But with a Polonaise you can't really do it. You have to count a 1 and a 2 and 3, 4 and a 5 and 6. The only other option you have would just be to make the sound. So you could go bum ba da bum ba ba, da 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 da, or you could say up and a down and close, up and a down and close. You could use the steps to count it as well. So with a Polonaise, just like a Mazurka, this is the other rhythm. Mazurka is one of them. This is the other rhythm where it can be worth talking about bars. So if I was setting a ballet class or I was doing a DDE, the only times I'd talk about bars would be with a Polonaise and a Mazurka. And with a Polonaise, you can either say, I'd like 6 counts in, please, or you could say, I'd like 2 bars in, and they're the same thing. So it sounds like, so it sounds like 1 and a 2 and 3 and 4 and a 5 and 6. That's 6 counts in. Or it sounds like 1 and a 2 and 3, 2 and a 2 and 3. That's 2 bars in. So this and the Mazurka are the only times when you could talk about bars, but it makes sense in it. With a Mazurka we could have had 4 bars in, which is 12 counts. But I wouldn't do that with a Polonaise. I think it would be too long. So in the Cecchetti grades, in grade 2 at the bar, we have a grand battement exercise, and it's on a Polonaise. It goes like this. So that is a Polonaise. There is actually something else, which is a bit strange. So a Polonaise is a Polish dance on that rhythm, but there are other countries where they also have the same rhythm, and one of those countries is Spain. And in Spain, they have a rhythm called a bolero, and to us listening, it sounds the same. The difference is it's from Spain. So in grade 6, in the centre, we do a grand battement exercise, and it's a bolero. We would call it a Polonaise as well. It sounds the same. It goes like this. There's no difference in the music. The difference is what would be happening on stage in the ballet where this is taken it from. It would be a Spanish dance. It's like in Swan Lake. It's got that. It sounds like a Polonaise rhythm, and people often say it's a Polonaise, but it is actually a bolero because they're doing Spanish dance, so we call that a bolero. But there's no difference to how it sounds. So if we're looking for famous songs that have this rhythm, we could use that Swan Lake Bolero, which is the Polonaise rhythm. But really, if you're it'll be either something from a ballet, or you have to have another way of remembering it. And the way that people like to do it is they like to say, I am a Polonaise, I am a Polonaise. And that seems like a better way to remember it than trying to remember a particular song that has a rhythm. So it's got that. Dun, 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 dun. I am a Polonaise, 1 and a 2 and 3, 1 and a bum, ba, da, bum, ba, ba. So the exercises it could be used for are things, again, like a Mazurka, where you have to separate the different sections, like you have different things on different counts. So the one that everyone thinks of is grand battement, because it goes up and in and down, up and a floor and in, yeah. And then the other things you could use it for would be things like demi-point exercises, where you're going up and in, up and in. The only thing with the Polonaise is it can't be too fast because it would just get too hard to play. So I'd say for slower things like grand battement, you'd expect to use a Polonaise, and for quicker things like demi-point, you might expect to use a Mazurka. Yeah, and there's probably lots of other creative things you could use a Polonaise for, with training exercise and things where you want to split things apart and have separate counts where you do things. I think a Polonaise might be good for those things as well. So if I was in a ballet class and I wanted a Polonaise, I'd say, "Can I have a Polonaise, please?" We'll have an intro of 6 counts. 1 and a 2 and 3, 4 and a 5 and 6, and up and a down and in, up and a down